If you know the game, then you know about 50% of what happens in this movie. James receives a mysterious letter from his dead partner Mary, asking him to return to Silent Hill, a place where they met and tried to start a life together. Upon arrival to Silent Hill, he finds it's been consumed by fire and destroyed by floods, rendering the once bustling town abandoned. How we never heard about this happening is anyone's guess, considering the time frame of events, but let's ignore that obvious plot hole. This is not the Silent Hill that James remembers. Monsters lurk through the town, while a small collection of other human inhabitants attempt to hinder him in his goal of finding Mary. Hello everyone and welcome to SHOCKMANIA. I am the Artie Dans. If you are new here, we tend to look at the side of horror that gets to be ignored by most of the mainstream side. There's like foreign stuff, hard to find stuff, that kind of thing. This is technically a French movie, so it's a foreign film by all stretch of the imagination, but we all know it's Silent Hill and it's in English. Now the aim of this review is not to pile shit on the movie that it's already received in certain fanatical online forums who are obsessed with completely criticizing and demonizing the director, rather than taking a moment to step back and try and understand the film process. And I think if you've been online for the last couple of weeks looking for news about this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is by no means a great film, but it is good if you're prepared to acknowledge the filmmaking process behind it and not constantly refer to the game it's based on. And I understand that's extremely difficult to do because, believe it or not, I am a fan of the games. Now, I have the original Silent Hill 2 on PlayStation 2. This is my launch copy that I bought the day it came out. So some kind of special edition with a DVD in it. It's got stickers, all this other jazz. This is my launch copy. I have the collection for the PS3. I have the remaster for the PS5. So I am by no means a beginner to the Silent Hill 2 lore and the Silent Hill series, but I'm not obsessed with every little detail of the Silent Hill world. Having said that, I don't appreciate when things seem to be changed for no real reason other than creative license. The game's story about James and Mary made enough sense for a game. A seemingly loving husband mourning the sudden death of his wife Mary, yes, his wife, not his girlfriend, returned to their special place, the Lakeview Hotel in Silent Hill, where their last happy memory was made. However, in the movie, Mary is now a resident of Silent Hill. In fact, she belongs to an elite cabal of mysterious cultists. Now, we know who they are from the game, but Mary's never belonged to them. What we unwillingly get in this movie is a subplot around this cult and what they did to Mary. It's so unnecessary, and I would go as far as to say it's also a bit unwanted. Also, there's changes to the main three female characters in this movie. That is Angela, Laura, and Maria. In the game, they had specific roles to play in their interactions with James. While Angela's connection to James was loose at best, and let's be frankly honest, it was probably non-existent. The way they've all been tied together in the movie is utterly frustrating. Now, I can admit, from a storytelling perspective, it does make sense. But these are established characters loved by millions around the world, and changing their motivation leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. And perhaps I shouldn't even mention the downgrade in the roles of the characters like Eddie and Pyramid Head. In fact, I'm kind of wondering what's the point of Eddie being in the movie when he's only in one scene and we never explore anything about him. There's absolutely no point for him to be in it. And the secret behind Pyramid Head is virtually given away the moment we see him on the screen. Even the person that I was watching the movie with, who had no idea about any of the lore of the game, picked it straight away. But the movie does do a lot of other things right, and that needs to be acknowledged. Visually, the movie replicates the areas in the game pretty much perfectly, I suppose with the exception of like Heaven's Night, which has gone from a strip club to some kind of nightclub. The hospital is probably far too bigger than it should be, while the hotel doesn't quite play a bigger role as it's supposed to. That iconic opening scene where James is in the bathroom and then walks down the pathway to the cemetery where he meets Angela, that's still there. It might also take too long, but the music from the game finally makes an appearance at the end. It was an awesome soundtrack from Akira Yamaoka, and it's great to hear some of his tunes here. But I think the less we say about that ending, the better. I do understand it's hard to go past some of the changes. For example, the most threatening monster James meets in the movie is the first one, the armless creature who spits acid from its chest. It's established that it can do some pretty quick and nasty damage. But the actual frightening creatures from the game are either not present or have no effect on James. Pyramid Head being the best example. It's established from his first scene that he isn't a threat to James at all, and that's just plain wrong. Now I also understand that some people have commented about the characters' costumes in the game, and specifically Maria's wig. But this is an actress playing 4 roles in the movie, so kinda hard for her to get away with it without some kind of makeup buggery. Also, the fact that Maria is over-exaggerated in the movie doesn't help. And also the fact that her character is technically, well, kind of pointless in the movie because the person who she represents in the game is not the person that she represents in the movie. Although you could argue she's actually an extension of the Mary we meet at the start of the movie who's trying to escape Silent Hill. And if that's the case, then I'm not sure that the link there is clear enough. I say make up your own mind, but keep this thought in the back of your head. This is not the worst movie ever made. This isn't even the worst game to movie adaptation ever made. In no circumstance, anywhere in the world, is this a bad movie. It just had an unnatural weight of expectation that couldn't be fulfilled, and now the director is receiving death threats from a group of immature, so-called fans of the game because he didn't dare to make a one-to-one replica. Now, I admit, a one-to-one replica of the game in the movie probably would have been fun, but I've already played the game, so I already know that story. What we're getting here is a different interpretation. Whether you like that or not, that's up to you to decide. And overwhelmingly, it seems that people don't like the director's reinterpretation of what he's done. I'm not on the fence. I'm actually going to side with those people. I don't like some of the things that you've done. Now, I think there are 4 clear audiences for this movie. There are the people who are utterly obsessed with the game, who've played it 20, 30, 40 times, who've seen all the endings, who will just utterly hate this movie. There's no saving that group. There's a group like me who've played the game a couple of times, have played all the different iterations of the game, who are watching this for some curiosity factor. There's the next group of people who have never played the game, but who are horror movie fans, who might play the game after watching the movie and discover that what they see in the game is not what they like because it doesn't match what they've seen in the movie. And then of course there's the 4th group who are just horror fans, who will watch anything, who've watched the movie and gone, well, I have no connection to the game. I thought the movie was okay, but what the hell was with that ending? Specifically, why there's no end creature for James to defeat. I think that's the biggest one on my card. So using the patent pending ghost rating, which stands for great horror or stupid trash, I give this 2 ghosts out of 5. I'm a big Silent Hill fan, and when it comes to the movies, I enjoyed the first movie and I enjoyed the second movie, and those were related to parts 1 and 3 of the games, continuing on the Mason side of the Silent Hill stories. We now go to the Sutherland side of the Silent Hill stories, and looking at Silent Hill 2, and what it's actually done is it's kind of put the numbering of the movies out of whack. So this is the 3rd Silent Hill movie, but it's based on the 2nd Silent Hill game, if that makes any sense to you at all. Are you a fan of the games? And have you seen the movie? And what is your thought? Try to keep it relatively honest, but not too over-exaggerated. Some of the stuff I'm reading online borderlines on ridiculous when it comes to this movie, and I really don't know what people's expectation was. This is a movie first and foremost, and it needs to be made for an audience of people who watch movies, and that's something that you need to consider. And while I don't appreciate everything that this movie did to the Silent Hill franchise, and specifically the Silent Hill 2 game, I can appreciate the fact that it is a movie and that it's an entertaining movie to watch. It's just not what I was expecting. Thank you so much to the channel members for subscribing to, also for being members to the channel. Thank you for yourself if you're a subscriber. Thank you for watching this rather long rant / review of Return to Silent Hill. I think it deserved a little bit more than what I was normally going to give it. But I'd be keen to know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, all other jazz. I'll catch you next time.